Okay, we are back for our second installment. Our palette is all scraped. My palette is all scraped and clean. Done so with my fabulous palette scraping tool. It saves me so much time. Oh, I can't really zoom in, can I? Anyway, I'm just starting to learn how to use this whole camera thing. So tonight I'm working on these portraits. Two portraits of the same woman. My friend's husband's mother passed away a few years ago. So one of them is for him, the portraits, and then the other one is for his sister. So tonight I'm just finishing up. Put the bulk of the paint down. And there's just some finishing touches that these guys have to go through. More details in the flowers and the skin. Just gotta refine stuff. Make it look nice. Anyway, so that's the Photoshop document I put together prior to composing these. Took her favorite plants and put them in a collage. Anyway, so I'll start mixing up the skin tones and then the greens, and then we'll go from there. So down here, I usually try to have two palettes, a bigger one and a smaller one when I have my shit together. The bigger one, I do some of my main mixing. I'll get my secondary hues in, which means they are once mixed away from your primaries. So your primaries are red, blue, and yellow. And from those three colors, plus black and white, you can make every other imaginable hue. So down here, I'll do my secondaries. It's the next step from primaries. And then I'll do my tertiary mixing. Tertiary like secondary, that's the third stage in mixing. So a lot of the colors you see in realism will be tertiaries. I'm not sure what comes after tertiary. I guess it would be quad something. Anyway, so I'll pause and then we'll get started on that. Alright, so let's start with skin tones first. Got a lot of nice oranges. Depending on the person's skin color, there can be all sorts of different surprising hues in there. Well, for her, it's mostly basic beiges and different colors of beige and peach. And normal, fairly normal Caucasian skin color. I don't like using the word Caucasian. I think beige is more accurate. Anyhow, so I like to start off some white. Hope these colors come through. I usually start off. Oh, we got some green in there. Let me stay over there. And I usually start off with about 3 blobs of white. And to make a nice sort of base for skin tone, I'll mix cadmium red and yellow. That seems like such a vibrant orange. Okay, so now that is in fact a secondary color, right? Because I took 2 primaries and mixed them with some light. At least I think that's a secondary. It might be a tertiary, but I think that's a secondary color. I need to look that up now that I'm articulating all this. I don't know if I'm actually right. I think it's a secondary. So nothing will ever be that vibrant on a face, really. So we're always going to have to dull it down. You can see that's just slightly lighter. I just add a little bit of white. Now my painting one of my painting instructors would always say, don't mix like this. So I hear her voice in my head when I do that. And really, the way you're supposed to do it, and she's right, even though it's annoying to hear, is really palette knives. You do the best mixing when you keep it all sort of in one spot, rather than squishing it all over the place. So we're going to keep going lighter. So you see, with every lighter hue, I'll get a little closer to where I'm trying to get. And then so I'll end up with sort of this line of shades, right? Dark, lighter, lighter. And these are tinted. And then you add white to a color, it's tinting it. When you add black, it's shading it. Makes sense, right? So I'm thinking that light one right there is pretty much one of the colors I'm seeing in her face. Now I'm going to just go a little bit pinker. And I'm going to go white. So white and pink. That, oh, I'm doing it again. I'm not mixing correctly. And we'll do it right this time. We go bloop, 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 bloop. So it's just a dainty way to mix, but really that's how a palette knife should be used. So that's a great mix. So these two right here are the only two ones I'm seeing that are close to the actual skin tone. So I'll bring these down here. Oh shoot. Blue one there, god damn it. So I'll take this color, and I'll transfer it down to the palette that I plan on having closer to me. So really all my tertiaries end up down here, and the more bold colors end up there. And then we'll take this guy too, because it's close. And then there's a really nice sort of bland brown pink in her face too that we're going to try to find. This nice in her cheek. This area right there and that area right there. So this nice sort of purple brown color. See if we can pinpoint it right in between my fingers. Nice deep sort of red brown. We're going to isolate that. Can I zoom in? I'm trying to zoom in. Oh, it's not letting me zoom in. Oh yeah, there we go. We're talking about, where's my hand? We're talking about this color right in there. It's so good. What are you talking about? It's like epic good. We're talking about Childish Gambino. That new song, This Is America. So good. It's so good. Go listen to it. So, that's good. And sometimes I'll just have all this paint left over my thing. I'll just try to use it all up. That's basically the right color I'm looking for. It needs to be a little redder. But we might as well keep this nice dull brown. Just in case. Or light beige. It's not brown. Okay, Jeff. That's nice. Oh, you cannot see where I'm putting these colors. Just so unhelpful. Okay. There we go. That's the brown I just found. Or light beige. Brown compared to what we already have. You want to say hi?
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so let's go darker now. Get some burnt umber. That's good. Oh, I'm doing the thing that my art teacher would have yelled at me for. I'm using my palette knife incorrectly again. You want to use it intelligently, she would say. Her name's Laurel. She's in California somewhere. But I hear her voice in my head every time I mix my paint incorrectly now. Whenever I mush it all down and then scrape it up. I mean, it works, but it's not really using your tool the way it's supposed to be used, is what she would say. It would annoy the crap out of me when she would say it, but now I take her advice because it's smart. I have a lot of great art teachers. St. Edward's and at UT in Texas. And then also where I started out in Vermont, where I went to community college. Well, that's a nice dark skin tone. It's still pretty red. We're sort of missing, I guess maybe, I don't know, what do you think? Maybe pink orange. Maybe one that has like a little more red in it. I'll take that color because it doesn't have a home. Oh, that's a nice color. I feel like we might need that color. Yeah. And if I need more skin tones as we go, we can just mix some more. Might as well use this other spot of white there now. It's already basically tainted with some stuff. Oh, look, I'm doing it again. Bad jewel. There we go. So that's how to correctly use your palette knife. Back and forth. So that's basically the same color we already have. But you can live there anyway. That's good. So do a light yellow, flowers in the background, and a couple of greens. I'll just bust out some different greens here, just to have. Oh, I'm mixing around again. The green can live somewhere. I can add some yellow in it though. And a couple of shades of dark and light blue. Make a sort of blue or green. Just want to get a couple different shades. For the background. Oh, and that's one color we do not have out on our palette. Is black. That'd be a good thing to do. So the way to make a perfect black, there's a couple different ways, but one of my favorite ways is burnt umber and alizarin crimson. No, I'm sorry. God, I'm so sorry. Ultramarine blue and burnt umber make a perfect black. I'll show you. So with some colors you really want to clean off your palette because if you get them tainted, they'll just look like crap. So here's your ultramarine blue. And burnt umber. Did I say that at first? It's ultramarine blue and burnt umber. That makes a good black. And then there's another way to make it with alizarin crimson, but we'll just make it this way. Now, you want to just sort of add equal amounts and then go back and forth until you hit a pretty solid black. Put those colors together. They will make a darker black than actual black from the tube. It's sort of a green black. Well, and that's the great part about making your own blacks too, because you can make green blacks or blue blacks or red blacks. So that's a little bit too green of a black for me, I think. It's like maybe a gray. But that's nice. It's nice to have a gray black or a blue black. I mean, anyway, so we'll save that guy over here. You never know when you're going to need a good green black. Okay. You can live there. But what I was saying is I don't think it's like black enough. So I want to use some alizarin crimson and some ultramarine and make like a deep purple black, and then we'll add some burnt umber. We'll just try to make the blackest black possible, and that's just using like all of your darkest hues. And bam, look at that great black. Of course I'm mixing wrong again. Anyway, that's pretty much how I do it. And then we'll do some other color mixing videos soon. There's all sorts of cool tricks to mixing your colors perfectly. Like if you want to dull a color, you can add its opposite on the color wheel. So I used to have a color wheel in front of me, but now I sort of have it memorized. And the kids steal them. Anyway, okay. Wait, so that's good. So we got black, black, green, black, green. We're missing sort of a deep viridian green. And I'm tempted to make that myself. Yeah, let's just make it ourselves. Okay. Let's make like a deep, deep green. And then we'll hang up the phone, the YouTube phone. So we'll just do straight ultramarine blue and yellow. It should make a pretty killer green. Pretty nice. Like a navy. It's not that great. But it's a nice green to have. It's good to get as many sort of shades as you can ready. Especially when you're doing something like this with just so many different shades. That's a nice shade of green. And that can be used. I'm working on this other painting with a ton of grass in it too. Sort of really hard. Anyway, but there's a lot of greens in it, so I've been experimenting with my greens a lot. So let's make a green out of this guy. That's a nice green. Sort of like puke. All greens are different shades of puke. Okay, oh, that's a nice one. I still want that viridian green that I don't think I can mix up to. There's a couple colors you can't mix up to that are just like impossible. One of them is cyan. Jeff and I argued for months about whether or not you could mix up to cyan, and I was convinced that you could, because technically you should be able to mix every single imaginable hue out of the 3 basic primaries in black and white. But I was wrong. There's no way to do it. You have to just buy cyan. And it basically doesn't exist. You have to buy cerulean. It's really depressing. It's okay. Viridian. Look, I got a whole tube of Viridian. Viridian's one of those ones I just don't know how to mix up to. I guess it's possible. I'm so bad at it. A lot of my tubes are just sealed shut. I have to really wrestle with them. Okay, look, here we go. Oh, look how nice and dark and pretty that is. I guess maybe I could have just mixed up to that. I don't know how, though. So nice and dark. Let's just add a little bit of yellow to that. Oh, there's some weird creeper trying to instant message me on Facebook. I'm making this video. He keeps telling me he's praying for me. Like, you don't even know me. You're praying for me? That's so weird. Oh, that's so nice. So look what happened now that I mixed just a little bit of yellow with that. Sort of mellowed it out a bit. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted like one deep green to sort of go in there. Not deep green, but like saturated. That'll go nice in our green collection here. And then we'll be able to start, because then I'll have sort of the basics. And then if we need to mix from there, we can do whatever's after tertiary. Jeff, what would be after tertiary color? Jeff? He's on his headphones. So it's primary, secondary, tertiary, and I think it's called quaternary. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to look that up. But that's what you mix, you know. So you like, say you start with ultramarine blue. That's a primary, and then you add yellow, which is also a primary, and it makes green, and that is a secondary. That's a secondary color. But that's just basic green. But then if you want to get these muted tones, and you add something in it to mute it, like its opposite, would be red, then it becomes a tertiary color. So anything that you mix 3 colors with, or you mix 3 times, is a tertiary. So I like to keep my primary mixing up here, primary to secondary, and then bring my tertiaries down here. So then I can keep mixing from there. I think it would be quaternary. I have to look it up. I'm going to look it up right now. Okay. Primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary. Jesus Christ, quaternary. Anyway, these will become quaternary colors at the point that I actually start painting. Because then we'll want to get really specific. But first I try to just sort of get close. And if I'm having trouble getting close to a color, I'll sample it. I'm using GIMP right now. But usually I'm using Photoshop. Sort of in a little bit of trouble with them right now, so I stopped using them. But GIMP's a good free program. Look at this stray color. I'll just leave him right there, or her. Okay, so to sample something, most of you probably know how to do this. There is a